All right, I'm live. Hello, hello, welcome. If you're hearing me, please just type something in the chat. Anyone out there hearing me? All right. Ooh, hi. So I'm heard. All right, now today based on the topic, we're talking about whatever we would do to prepare in case that we lose electricity, what type of solar preparation we can make. I know for me, when it comes on to losing electricity, prior to having a solar system, it was rather frustrating. I'm not sure if it's like that for you. You feel like you don't know what to do. It's as if everything stops. I'm not sure if you had experienced something like that, but I know for me, it's like everything, it honestly stops. So, what I always tell myself, I honestly feel that each year or each path in my life, I should have made improvement where certain things are concerned. So take for instance the first storm that I experienced. I tell myself that certain things that happened during that one not going to happen again. And it never did. When it comes down to loss of power, I know for me, I hate it. When I decided that I was going solar, I knew that the system that I got was not one that would operate if I lost electricity or during the night. I knew that in the night or if I lose electricity, I would either have to rely on JPS in the night or I rely on whatever mechanism I can come up with in order to have some form of power or stability. I've reached the point where sometimes, remember at night I don't have use of my solar power. So at nights I'm totally reliant on the power people. I found that at nights, if I lose electricity, I don't know. And the reason why I don't know is because I've prepared myself. Let me tell you how I did it. What I did was I start with the obvious. When electricity goes, what is the first thing that you really want? Light. So that's what I started with. I started with light. And starting with light meant I had to find a way, some way, somehow, to get light without it being something that is plugged in or without me paying for it. I know I didn't want candle because we have been seeing on the news how dangerous the candles are. I know I didn't want to have an extension to my solar capacity, where it was able to operate at nights independently of a battery, by use of a battery. I really honestly couldn't afford that, so I had to use things to get me that light in house. Losing electricity can mean losing electricity by different means. Some persons who live in countries that are cold, sometimes I remember there was this one big storm that caused, I can't remember which country it was, and they lost power for quite a while. Persons were cold, no heat. Where I am, we lose electricity based on if something hit the light pole, you will lose electricity. If we have a storm, you will lose electricity as well. So you lose electricity for different reasons. But overall, it's the same thing. You and I will lose electricity for some way, somehow, some reasons. So let's now go back to what is it that we need. Dependent on where you are, the very first thing that we think about is the light. All right. So let's look on ways how we can get the light. We're not looking on the ones that can be dangerous for you or for me. We're not looking on candles. Because for me, if I do have a candle, it will only be lighted when I'm up and about moving. It will not be lighted just to provide illumination on a dark night or when I don't have any power. I won't use a candle for that. Sorry. So we need light, and we can go solar. But the solar that I'm thinking about is a stand-alone solar light. One that has the panel on top, or one that has the panel separated from the equipment itself. Whatever it is that you choose, make sure it's solar. An issue that you may have with the solar lights is they are not all that bright. It will not be like you flipping a light switch. It's not like that. It doesn't operate like that unless you buy a very bright one. You can't have solar lights at spots where you would probably need it. No. So take for instance, you're in the bedroom, you're not going to have a solar light up there where the regular light is. So it's something that you either have to install or you move around with like a flashlight. Or you put it at a spot in the house where it can illuminate a large area. I have two lights. I think I showed you a vlog on it before. It was, what's the name of that vlog again? It was lights that I don't pay a bill for, right? And those two lights are attached to battery power. Battery power meaning the used car battery with cord. I especially use those two lights like every single day, every day. I would encourage you, if you're getting lights, don't just put them aside like a flashlight where you really only take them up when you have a power outage or you need to find something in the dark. No, use these lights as if you have no electricity, especially at nights. So at night, I have, like I tell you, I have those two lights. I have one in the kitchen area and one in the dining area. So if I'm going in the kitchen, the very first light I turn on is that light, and it bright up the whole entire kitchen. Lights lights are bright based on the amount of lumens they have. So the greater the lumen, the brighter the light will be. I can't remember the lumen on those lights. Can't remember the lumen on it, but it's really, really bright. I've been in the kitchen and lose electricity, and I don't know that I lost electricity because I'm not using the light from the power people, and everything is normal in here. So you can get the lights because that's the very first thing you're going to miss when electricity gone. Now it depends on how long it is gone, then you will start missing more than the lights. Probably at that point when the light gone, you said, Jesus, my phone don't charge. Your phone don't charge. Let's look at what you can use to charge those phones. I remember, I think I did a vlog on it. Yeah, I did a vlog on it before, and it was the, the solar power banks. You can get a solar power bank, and it's, please, whenever you get these things, don't just use them when you don't have electricity. Use it constantly. So you're charging your phone, you honestly do have electricity, and if your power bank is fully charged, go ahead. Use the power bank and charge it. I'll try and show you. I think it's somewhere around here. Yeah. So this is it. This is it. I remember doing a vlog on this and I showed you it before. But I especially like this one. It has, see the lights? Well, it's not even on. But because of the glare of the light now, it looks like it's on. So you have this, it have a clip on. And this is my main reason for purchasing this, the panel. So the panel right there, this is used to charge. I use this to charge it by the sun. It has USB connection. You see the 3 connections. This is for the small, and this is the regular USB. And I think on it, no, it doesn't have it. Let me see if it's inside. No, it doesn't state. I thought it states the amount of amps that the USB pull, but it doesn't. It doesn't tell you the amount of amps that it pull. It, like I tell you, it has a flashlight. It also have a compass, but for me, the compass is just an extra that I will not use. I'm not going camping, but if my phone need to charge, right now I'm around the computer and my phone is plugged in. Not My phone is plugged in, not on the power bank, but on the computer. Because I was taking off some information off it, and while it's doing that, it was charging. Majority of the times, once you have it and it's charged, use it to charge your devices. You will save electricity like that, and you're sure that it's working in case of a outage. You'll have it to use. So far we cover you having light, and we now cover you being able to communicate, because if your phone battery don't charge, you can't communicate. All right, the next step now is, what about your appliances? One of the things that we have is the appliances that we have. When the light is gone, in all honesty, you need to plug them out, plug them out, because you're doing a great disservice to You're doing a great disservice to yourself when you don't plug them out. I remember doing a vlog again about the surge and the surge that can hit those appliances whenever that electricity comes back in. Question, where did you buy that? The power bank can be purchased. I purchased this one online. I purchased this one online, and like I said, I chose it because of the panel, and I also chose it based on the milliampere that it is able to push out. So that was my reason for choosing it. So like I said, we cover communication. We're able to communicate because we now have something to charge, whatever it is that we're going to communicate with. You also need credit. So it's not about only charging the phone. You're charging the phone and you don't have any credit. What you're going to play on a game because you're going to be bored. So you have communication, you have light. This also gives you light as well. I really don't use it for that. My main purpose for buying it, like I tell you, is to charge whatever devices I have that it can charge, and it can charge 2 devices at a time. Okay, so we'll cover communication and now we'll cover light. Like I said, the next thing, when you see the power go, plug out your main appliances. Worse if you don't have a surge protector on it. If you have a surge protector, you can probably take the chance and leave it in, But if you don't have a surge protector, plug it out. Because if and when that electricity comes back, a surge might or will hit your appliances. And in all honesty, it's cheaper now to buy a surge protector than to buy back a refrigerator or a television set. The next thing is having, oh sorry, I thought I got a question. Yeah, the next thing is having something that can give you electricity in those, especially those major appliances, for a continuous time. What I mean, all right, prior to the evolution of solar, persons used to have what is known as a generator. And I'm sure that you have heard those generators. So light gone, and you would hear something like a heavy bike engine going. It's just going. It was honestly annoying. I had one of those generators, and I think I probably have used it probably 2 times. Yeah, 2 times. The noise, and it's not like you can keep it inside. You can't keep it inside. The noise was really excessive. And if you live in a house, something like what I live in, then the noise is going to bother people out there. So you have the noise, and you really don't want to disturb your neighbors. It also needed, those generators also needed, I think it's gas it used. Yeah, I think it's gas. So you have to get the gas. You and I don't know how much gas will last you throughout the nights. So what people tend to do, the persons who have generators like that, they tend to have a gas bottle. And whenever the gas in the generator, because the generator have a gas gauge, so it will tell you when the gas is finishing. So what they do is they would refill it each time the gas is finishing. I've never seen someone use those type of generators throughout the night. They just have it for a little and then turn it off, go to bed. That's it. However, what some persons have done is attach those gas standby generator to the main electricity of the house, and it operates like a switch. So when you, it's something like if you flip that switch, then the house is being run by that gas operated generator. The reason why you need to switch out the power people and switch in that standby generator, you don't want the both of them to collide. It's fire that. It can be very dangerous for your house. So it has to be switched out so that the standby generator can now switch in and operate like it can be the generator for the house electricity. So they can watch TV, depends on how they set it up. All right. You have you have that setup. It's honestly going to be an annoyance to your neighbors, probably even to you too. You can't even hear yourself. Some persons have placed some things on it, like a some form of muffler to reduce the sound. Whatever it is that they do, I don't even know what they do because I never even like it. To me, it just sounds annoying. And just imagine you having that for quite a while. However, with the evolution of solar, some smart manufacturer decided that they are going to now make a solar generator. The solar generator, I can have a solar generator running my appliances and you don't know. You honestly don't know. Because what? It's quiet. Some persons that I know have these solar generators, and what they do with them is run things inside their homes. So some persons would have it attached to their TV. So anytime they want to watch a TV, it's the solar generator that is running. Hey Beto, good night. Somebody asking me if I have an app that is working. So let me just answer. Don't have one. Don't have that app. Yes. So the solar generators are very, very quiet. And how it is sold? It's sold by wattage as well. You can find small watt solar generators and you don't pay a lot of money for it. However, you need to decide what is it that you're going to use these generators to run. You can't buy a 50 watt solar generator and you're expecting it to run a 180-watt fridge. That is impossible. So you need to decide before you purchase these solar generators, what is it that you're using these generators for? I've seen persons carry them, especially some YouTubers when they are doing some cooking and they want to use the, what do they call it? The blender. They carry it for that. Or if they want to set up a little light something in tent, they carry it for that. But I know persons who personally use it for appliances, taking those appliances off the reliance on those power people and use their own solar generators as electricity for a period of time. Because you know if it can run your TV for probably say 12 hours and you just watch 1 hour of news, then use a solar generator. I intend to get one. However, I would not use it as a standby in case I lose electricity. I think I would use it on something that is essential for me to pull that appliance for me off the reliance of the power people. So if I get one, I just need to decide what is it that I need to pull from the power grid. Probably it might be my TV, probably it might even be this computer. And if I decide to use one, then it will be one that I will have to check out the wattage on my PC to see how much it can use, how much wattage it would use in order to get a generator that would be able to run it. All right, he asks a question, Storm Chaser. Do they have the quiet generator? The quiet generators are the solar generators, and there are persons in Jamaica who sells them. But for me, I think if I'm to buy one, it wouldn't be, I wouldn't buy it out here. I wouldn't. Some of them you can buy them with panel as well, and the panels are lightweight and foldable. You charge it whenever you want. Probably you can leave the panel on your your roof. I'm not sure though. I'll have to check it out some more because I'm currently doing my research to see if the size that I should get, like I tell you, and also I'm curious to find out if these solar generators can be used while being charged. 'Cause that's a good thing to know if you can use these solar power while it is being charged, so that if you use it during the day, then at night you would have that charged battery to use at nights. So it would be good to find out. But whatever you decide to do, if you're going to buy a solar generator, decide what you're going to use it to run. Don't just take up yourself and buy any wattage, because the any wattage one can't work with anything that you have there. You need to decide what is it that you're going to use it for. All right, so we'll cover the light, we'll cover how we're going to communicate, how we're going to charge whatever communication devices we have, and then we're going to think of we'll cover how we're going to get additional electricity to run additional things that we have in the house. Heat. You can get the solar fans, and the solar fans will run during the day on the solar power while charging the battery, and also at nights when it doesn't have that panel attached, you can get usage of the fan. It will not last you the whole night, and it will be dependent on the speed that you put that fan on. That's another conservation method, especially in the summer months. You can use those fans to take out some of the heat of the house. So in the you can use it in the summer months and reduce your light bill as well. Okay, in the summer months we tend to pull a lot of electricity just to keep cool. All right, so we'll cover light, we'll cover communication, how we're going to charge those tablets, those phones. Question: is there any fan that can work on the car battery you mentioned in one of your vlog? Um, I have a fan, a battery. When I said battery operated fan, the battery operated fan, I'm coming back to your question specifically, and I'll answer you. The battery operated fan that I have, I it has a battery inside. The battery came inside that fan and it can be charged, so it works independently. However, even the regular fans can be run on your car battery. All you need, yes, the old batteries that I mentioned, but you need to create some form of, how must put it now? You need to create something so that it is able to be used. It might not last you as long because the amount of power that a regular fan is pulling, it might be too much. In order to use the batteries though, you'll need what is known as an inverter. So if you have an inverter hooked up to this car battery, you can plug things in there. Once the car battery can pull that power of the fan or pull the power of whatever it is that you're pushing in that inverter. So it's that the inverter is converting DC to AC. Understand? So any fan can work on a car battery, but it needs something in order to work. For me, I honestly would not want to use a used car battery to work a regular house fan unless you're doing it for a short period of time. But the continuous usage, I don't think you'll find a car battery, a used car battery especially, that is able to run it for the time when you're honestly going to need that fan. Because you might need a fan. Say you have a storm, and when storm, the place hotter. After a storm, then the house is going to be hotter. So you having a fan that use car battery, I don't think you're going to have that amount of power that you in order to keep your cool for quite a long while. Not going to work. So probably it's best you use the ones that are battery operated, the 12-volt ones or the solar ones that will give you some form of power at nights. Because you're going to need the power at nights when it's hot and you have an outage. So we can keep cool. We just need to know what to use. True, I felt that in one of the storm. Yes, it's really hot. In order to prepare for these emergencies, it's best if we don't try and get them at once, or we try to be let's try to be proactive, not reactive. So we don't wait on a storm to go out and buy kerosene. We don't wait on a storm to get some of these lights or even a solar power bank. And like I say, don't buy these things because you say, in case of an emergency, my phone can charge. In case of an emergency, I have electricity or I have light. No, when you buy them with the intention of using them. Use it now. Use it now, and it will be able to help you to defer the cost of your light bill. It will help you to not have so much reliance on those light people. I saw online this site that I purchase from regularly. I saw some bulb looking battery operated lights and they were selling them at the time for $1. I bought two of them. They weren't as bright as I would have loved them to be, but it was useful. Sometimes you see some of us have what we call it again. There's a thing that we plug in the wall. Night lights. Probably would even need night lights if you have some of these lights. I have lights that are timed that comes on every night at a certain time. I have lights that I switch on. I have a light here. Let me show you the light. This, the sign says love. And when I purchase it for the lights. So it has, let me see if I can turn it at an angle that you see it. It has, right, you see the lights? From time to time, I'll be in the room, I turn it on, and it form just an illumination in the room. So sometimes I'm coming in the room, I don't need to turn on that light. I don't need to turn on a light because what? I probably might need is just a glare. Some of us are lucky enough to have street lights shining through our windows. I don't have that. The timed lights that I have are some I have some candles, and these candles are LED candles. The body of the candles are like wax. So if you see those candles, you say, oh, they are wax candles. No, I don't like them. They are timer. As a matter of fact, they even come with a remote control. And I put them up. I think I have about five of them. Five of them, and there are some pillar candles, so they have a good size. So I have five of them, and they vary in sizes. And once I set the timer, every day at that time, the candles light up. I also have as well, I think you would have seen it at the beginning of the vlog, where you see some flame lights. Those are lights. I purchased three of those as well, and they are also timer lights. And these timer lights that I'm telling you about are battery operated. I think the candles use pen light batteries, and the flame lights use C size batteries, right? So the flame lights use C size batteries. And with those lights, if and when the time change sometimes, and they we have earlier nights. So if I should be outside or just coming in and the time is dark, easily the place lights up, because it depends on the time that I set it. And I have the both of them coming in at the same time, and I think it lasts for 8 hours. So at during the time of the dark nights, I would have set it for probably say 6:30. So the lights would have come in 6:30, and they last me for 8 hours. I'd already been here. It lasts for 8 hours, and it just power off by itself. When the time gets lighter, then I would set it for 7 or 7:30. Those lights, especially while they do offer some form of illumination, I really got those lights as a security reasons. So I try to maintain having them come in or come on and go off. I use the timer feature fully. Why? You don't want, when you're not here, somebody can tell that you're not here. I don't want that. So I have them coming in at a certain time, coming off at a certain time. It's like you take it for granted now that you even have those lights, because you don't even realize that they come on sometimes. It's battery operated, and I wouldn't say I spend a lot on batteries, because I really don't. I've tried buying batteries out here for them. Not the what do you call those batteries? Not the zinc batteries. I buy the alkaline batteries, but I find that when I buy the alkaline batteries out here, they don't last me long. When I buy them online and ship them in, sometimes even 2 years, I still have batteries. One of those, the candle lights will last me, using batteries, they would last me probably a month and a half. While they, and when I say a month and a half, they just continue getting dim, 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 dim until the dim is unbearable now, and then I just change it. Um, with the flame lights, those use a C-size batteries, and you would say probably a change of C-size batteries. Probably, I don't think it would last me a month and a half. No, it wouldn't last me a month and a half. It would probably last me 1 month and probably a week. Yeah, 1 month and probably a week. But like I said, don't let them study you. You need whatever illumination to let them feel that you are here. So that part is covered where light is concerned. I do like lights. Um, However, I find that majority of my lights inside are battery operated. I've seen solar lights that you can use in the socket, you screw them in. However, based on where some of my light bulbs are, light sockets are, some lights wouldn't work for me. The light that I was seeing would be more down lights. For where my socket is, if I use down lights, I would not get the illumination that I want. I would have to use lights like corn lights, or the light strips that you see. I have the ones that I put up in the kitchen and the dining room area. Those lights would work for me. You need to understand, when it come on to lights, you need to understand where is it that you want to put them, because you can't just pick up yourself and buy any light. You have to make sure that the one that you acquire will work for you. All right, so we cover, coming back again, doing a recap, we cover lights, we cover communication where we have the solar power bank. We can cover some of the appliances that we have by getting the solar generator, the quiet type. Some of them you will have to purchase. You need to decide what is it, which appliances you're trying to cover, in order to buy the correct, or the one that will suit your needs. What else did we cover? Cover lights. Right. Um, we'll cover even the timer lights. I'm looking for a light that would offer me one that I can put on the wall. I don't know if you know these lights that they call scone lights. People have them sometimes to the side of the mirrors. Some of them are battery operated, where you honestly wouldn't need to wire a house for that or have it wired for that. Some of them are battery operated, like I tell you. However, I'm still trying to find one that is battery operated and has a timer feature. If it has a timer feature, then I'll be willing to use it. And when I say timer feature, I don't want a timer feature that is 18 hours on. No, I want a timer feature that I can set. So if I set it for 6 hours, every day it will start at a certain time and shut off at 6 hours. All right. Question: what about communicating not by phone? Is there something else that can be used? Um, unless you're going to use a two-way radio. Some persons use two-way radios and communicate, but not everybody can afford that. And because we already have the cell phones, then might as well we just try keeping those cell phones charged. The need for is coming more. I'm not understanding you, Troy, and welcome to the live. The need for whatever it is that we're using is becoming more apparent. Yes, it is. And like I say, we need not wait until we need not wait until we need it in order to get it. You know, the last storm, or no, we didn't get the storm. I think it was Ian, where it was said that Ian would come. I wanted bread, just bread in the supermarket, because I always wait until Saturday to just buy a bread. And can I tell you, almost everybody you see either have a kerosene oil in them hand, a lamp in them hand. You go into the pharmacy and you hear people asking for what's the thing? Radio. You go in the pharmacy and you hear them asking for radio at that point. And we're talking about the little transistor radios. So sometimes we really wait until the thing is on us and we don't have the money, And yes, when we honestly can squeeze off a little money to buy a solar light, or squeeze off a little money to just buy a little solar power bank, we don't do it. We wait until we need this thing, then that is when we really get it. And it's sad, because at the point when we're going to buy it, we don't have the information at our fingertips. We just buy. So we don't get the chance to really analyze this thing. What is the wattage of this thing? Is it able to pull the power that I want it to pull? We don't get that chance. We don't get the opportunity to really brainstorm and analyze what it is that we're getting. We just buy at that point. And it's honestly sad. It's really sad. So if we can make a informed decision at the point where we're going to say, for this year, this is my goal. I need to be ready. And when I say ready, we don't have to wait until the point in time when we lose the power to use it. Just go ahead, buy it and use it. Because I'm using my power bank. I'm using it and I'm charging it by the sun. I'm using my lights. Like I said, when light gone, I don't know. I don't have solar power here at nights. I'm honestly relying on the power people at nights. So I don't know. And it would be good for us not to know as well. Just plan ahead. Plan ahead. There might be other things that we can use that is not reliant on the power people. Some simple things. I've seen persons buying inverters, buying the inverters to pull any power that they want. Some of us are not able to have a car where if the power goes out, we can charge our phones from the car. Some of us don't have a car. And as a matter of fact, in order to charge your phone, don't you have to turn on the key, the ignition? Yeah. So let's use something. I can now be charging my phone from this power bank, and I don't turn on anything more than just plug it in. See? See the blue lights? The blue light means it's charging something. If you notice, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue lights, and all 5 blue lights are up because it was charged. I think it was charged today by the sun. Yeah, I think it was charged today by the sun. We have the sun to our advantage. Let's use it up. We can use it up. Let's not sit and wait, or sit and use these, be reliant on these the power people, because everybody want the same thing. We want to save the money in our pockets, and they want our monies in their pockets. So let's see how much we can save. Any more questions? We have about 10 minutes more. No more questions. Nobody don't know any other way we can save our monies in our pockets by being prepared. And and that's the next thing too. You honestly think that in case of an outage, well, if the outage is unplanned, I'm not talking about like the hurricanes that we know coming. I'm thinking of something hit the light pole and we lose power. Where are you going to get the the flashlight? Where are you going to get the kerosene oil at that point? You're not going to get it. So you have to be prepared. No question. All right. What size inverter you can suggest to buy? For what? What is it that you're trying to use that inverter on? And remember, inverters are really used if you have a battery to pull the power from. So what are you going to pull the power from? Batteries are expensive, you know. I have I think it's 15,000. I think it's a 15,000 watt fan and light. Fan and light, you don't really need a lot of power for it. And with a fan and a light, I really honestly wouldn't use an inverter for it. Unless you're working, unless you're working on the road or something, and you really wouldn't need an inverter for a fan and a light. I have a 15,000 watt inverter, and that 15,000 watt inverter, I need to set it up like a generator from a home. However, I need to find the right battery. I need a marine battery with a big capacity. So this year, that's my goal, to set up that inverter on that battery, and how that. And by the way, when you set up an inverter on a battery, you need to decide how that battery is going to be charged, because the battery can't charge itself. It can't. So it's either you're going to set up solar panels with a charge controller to charge that battery. And the reason why you need a charge controller if you're putting panels is you don't want that battery to be overcharged. So the charge controller will be like that regulator. It will just send the right amount of current to charge that battery. And when the battery is done, then you can pull the power straight from the sun and the panels, where whatever it is that you're using the inverter on that battery to do, it's using now the power from the panel because the battery is already charged. So you need that charge controller if you're using solar panels for that battery. So whatever it is that you're going to use that battery to do, make sure you decide how you are going to charge that battery. You don't only have to use panels to charge a battery, you can use a windmill as well. I have a windmill, and that's what I'm planning to use to charge my batteries, or whatever battery I get. I'm honestly looking for batteries. So if you know anybody out there that sells batteries, preferably marine, then what is a charge controller? Like I say, a charge controller is like a regulator. So let's put it this way. The charge controller takes the whatever electricity or whatever energy is converted from the panels or the windmill, and the windmill would spin, and that wind cause electricity to be created. So so too the panel uses the sun, and the energy comes in and it goes through that charge controller. So the charge controller is like a regulator. And what the charge controller do is convert that electricity to the type of electricity that the battery requires. By the way, the form of electricity that is coming in from the windmill and the solar panel is DC current. So the DC current is what is used to charge those batteries. So the DC current comes through the charge controller, it regulates it. If your battery is a 12-volt battery, you won't get 20. 20 not going to come in. Enough is going to come in to charge that battery. So you won't get 20 volt coming in to damage your battery. It's going to regulate it. It's a 12 volt you have. It's 12 volt it's going to use to charge your battery. When that power now charges that battery, in order for you to get electricity inside your home, you use the inverter now. So you have the panel sending whatever current through the charge controller to charge that battery. And then you have now the inverter that is attached to the battery that is now converting that DC power to AC. And the charge controller has plugs like a regular plug socket. And you take whatever it is that you're going to plug into that. Be it, suppose you have how I have a 15,000 watt inverter. I can plug my TV in there. So you just plug in the TV because it has a regular plug. You turn on your TV and you watch your TV. So now you understand. Good. So whatever it is that you decide to do and you're using a battery, you need to figure out how you're going to charge that battery. It doesn't make any sense you use the power people to really charge that battery. It's best if you use solar to charge the battery. If you have your solar panels in the day, yeah, you can use it and charge a battery because you're pulling electricity from the panels in the day. Don't make any sense you have that thing charging at night, because at that point you'll be pulling things from the power people to charge that battery. So like I said, figure out how you're going to charge your batteries. Just figure it out. We have 1 minute to the hour. Is there any more questions? And I could not suggest to you as well, Storm Chaser, to buy an inverter, because I don't know what you're trying to I don't know what you're trying to use the inverter on. So I can't suggest to anyone as to what size inverter to buy. I don't know what you want it to do. I don't know what you want it to, what type of wattage you want to pull from this inverter. I don't know. So I can't tell you what type of inverter to buy. I know what I want my inverter to do, so I buy accordingly. Any questions for the live? And please, people, like the live. I will wait until I sort out myself. Good. Fine. I hope you do, and make sure that you are prepared in terms of an emergency. Don't wait until a storm comes or you lose. Probably when you lose power, it will be too late. You can't even go to buy anything at that point, and you can't make an informed decision as to what you buy at that point. All right, we have no question and we're on the hour. Thank you for joining the live stream. We'll come with another topic next week, hopefully, and I'll see you soon.